Finally, after months and months of waiting, Watford have picked up their first championship victory at Vicarage Road since the end of November 2023. Now, it wasn't the prettiest of games at Vicarage Road yesterday afternoon, but Watford did the job and ultimately picked up the 3 points in Tom Cleverley's first game as the full-time head coach at Watford Football Club. Ryan Andrews getting the goal in the second half. And what a good goal it was. A great run from Andrews, a great ball in behind from Ismail Kone as well. And Andrews, as he did so earlier in the season, very similar goal to the one he scored against Birmingham City, slotted it past the goalkeeper into the far corner in front of the very jubilant Rookery end. And that sealed ultimately the 3 points for Watford. A couple of changes going into the game as well. Jack Greaves, the academy prospect, hopefully next in line after Ryan Andrews, started in that right wing back position. Ryan Andrews actually started the game on the bench. We believe he had a slight injury going into the game, which is why he did start on the substitutes bench. And Tom Cleverley ultimately gave Jack Greaves his opportunity, albeit during the game I did feel like for some reason the Watford players on the pitch were hesitant to pass to Jack Greaves for some reason. I'm not too sure why, but that's my perspective from watching the game in the stands. But he was substituted at half-time. Ryan Andrews come on in his place. And as I said, Ryan Andrews in the second half made a great run down the right wing. Ismail Kone, great driving run into midfield, played a lovely ball in behind. And as I mentioned earlier, Ryan Andrews slotting past the goalkeeper in front of the Rookery end. The only other change, I believe, was Matty Pollock in for Francisco Sierralta. And I have to say, in the last game of the season, Matty Pollock, in his first real breakthrough season at Watford, has had a really good full season, really. He hasn't really been given a chance in the past few years for whatever reason. Maybe, previous head coaches weren't, a fan of him. Maybe they didn't think he had the ability to step up to this level. But certainly under the last few games of Valérien Ismaël and, Tom Cleverley's few games in charge so far, Matty Pollock has been one of the better defenders in the team, actually. And he really does strike me as potentially a leader in the future. He's very vocal. I can clearly hear him from where I sit in the stands as well. So I just want to give a quick shout out to Matty Pollock as well. And overall, looking at the season and what's happened so far, I think for me, I'm just pleased we did get that final victory at home in the last home game of the season. For me personally, it's always a bit of a sad note when after your final home game, you're walking out after a defeat. So for Watford to end Vicarage Road on a win and on 3 points, I think that's always a positive for me. And, congratulations to Tom Cleverley as well. What a blow. Yes, it wasn't the prettiest of performances. I think we all expected that. I said in my match preview, both Sunderland and Watford really were both on the beach going into this game. Neither team really had any threats of relegation whatsoever. Both teams weren't even close to a playoff chase at all. So, mid-table mediocrity for both teams, it seems, this season. And hopefully next season can be a vast improvement as well. Watford also gave out 3 player awards at the game, including Young Player of the Season, Goal of the Season and Player of the Season. Young Player of the Season went to Yassir Espria with 6 goals and 7 assists in the Championship this season. I think that's well deserved for Yassir Espria to be picking up that award. I really do hope he will stay at Watford next season. However, when he was substituted and in the subsequent lap of appreciation around the pitch after the game, it did seem to me that Yassir Espria was waving goodbye to the Watford fans, which is sad to see. But you have to think that Yassir Espria is one of our more valuable and saleable assets. A European club or a Premier League club are likely to pick him up during the summer transfer window, and then it's up to Watford how they reinvest that money into making the squad stronger for next season. So Yassir Espria, congratulations to him. He picked up Young Player of the Season. Goal of the Season was very close. It seemed it was between Yassir Espria away at Norwich City and Wesley Hoot away at Hull, scoring, of course, from that halfway line. Wesley Hoot won that in the end. So Wesley Hoot, congratulations to him. He won Goal of the Season for his halfway line volley, whatever you want to call it, against Hull City away from home. And then Player of the Season, once again, the man himself, Wesley Hoot. I think we can all agree he was our most consistent player this season. He wore the captain's armband, actually, for the majority of the season as well. and he's a clear leader in the team for me. I think he's a player who Watford should be looking to retain in the summer if any interest does come in for him. Really lovely bloke, it seems like, as well. And yeah, congratulations to Wesley Hoot for picking up player of the season. He's scored some cracking goals as well. He's got a lovely left foot, hasn't he, Wesley Hoot? I'm sure his left foot is worth a lot of money with all the 40 and 50 yard crossfield passes he does. So yeah, congratulations to Wesley Hoot. Aside from that, we'll be looking ahead to the Middlesbrough game next week. I'll actually be away on holiday when the Middlesbrough game is taking place, so you won't be seeing a match reaction from me, but what you will be getting is a Watford 2023-24 season review from myself and Finn. And that'll be coming out the following day after the season concludes on Sunday evening. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. We'll be walking you through the whole of the Watford 2023-24 season, talking about our own young player, goal and player of the season. And yeah, that should be a fun watch. So make sure to keep an eye out for that. Aside from that, keep an eye out for our Middlesbrough match preview, and hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day. Bye-bye.